Hello. You're tuning into the episode of TheWunderkindShow. Today's second topic: where are all the other draft picks? Look, guys, you know what I was doing? I was sitting there listening to so many people talk about the draft. Oh, it's an A++++. If I could add another plus, I would. And I sat back and I said, y'all said it was an A+ draft for the last 4 years. So what I did was I said, yo, what happened to all those other guys? Now, what I mean is, we got Malachi Starks. Everyone says he's a playmaker, everything else. Hopefully he is. There's a player that I've been asking about that no one seems to give me any update about, that everybody thought had amazing upside, had amazing talent, all that stuff. You know what his name was? TJ Tampa. What happened to him? I'm going to go through this real quick. Some of these guys. So you got TJ Tampa running right corner. They got him at a right cornerback. I thought we were going to run him at safety. That's what I thought we were going to run him at. Why are we not going to be running him there? What happened to Trent Simpson? Him pretty much getting no play as things went on. I'm going through this. I'm asking questions. Where was that Ajabo pick that all you guys loved? Now I'm going to start calling stuff out because everyone be like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not being a butt face. What I'm doing is I'm asking, guys, let's be real. And I want you guys to just calm down and think about this real quick. We're wasting draft capital on players that are 2 years in that the fan base is already ready to give up on. But we've already wasted draft capital on them. If we already know that we're not going to be using or keeping most of the draft picks, wouldn't it behoove you, the Ravens, to say, let's package a deal and go get another guy? Now, Emery turns out to be amazing. I really do. Because I hope the best, because I want Lamar protected. I want Lamar and Derrick Henry protected. Those two. But once again, we don't know. And look, Malachi Starks could turn out to be an amazing pick. But I'll always lead and I'll stand on this. If Emery isn't what we think or isn't what we hope to be, because there's a whole bunch of guys that y'all have told me, oh, he's going to pan out. This is such a deep draft. The O-line you can get in the 4th round, 5th round, 6th round. It hasn't worked well for us at all. Now, I know Rosengarten, that one's looking okay. But all the other ones, no. So 1 out of 8 or 9, that's not good odds at all. I'm being real about this. Because I heard Lunch Break talking about Lunch Break Hot Take. Shout out to those guys, Jose and Brodney. And they were kind of talking about how we will fight. We'll have holes on the team, complain about them during the year, forget about them over the offseason, grade the Ravens to have the best draft, and then the same problems show up in the regular season again. And then we sit there and we're like, oh, how could they not fix that? Why? It seems kind of repetitive to me. Look, I want every player to work. That's not feasible. That's not realistic. Not everybody works. I believe most times, only 30% of the picks, something like that, end up starting or something like that, or end up playing in the NFL. And the Baltimore Ravens are below that number, just to let you guys know that. So I just want everybody to understand, we got, overall, you can say, well, we filled the holes in newer guys. But I would have rather have some seasoned veterans in some of those other areas where I feel like not only do they have time under their belt in the NFL, but they still have a lot to give. They like, let's be real, the Ravens hit on Derrick Henry. Thank God. And we almost missed on him because they're unwilling to pay him anything close to what he was worth. But Derrick Henry bit the bullet and said, I'll play for this. And the Ravens said, okay, then we'll take you. And he's been nothing short of incredible for the Baltimore Ravens. The drastic night and day between Derrick Henry and other running backs that have come in on this team is laughable. Absolutely laughable. What he was able to do compared to every single one brought in after that. It's crazy. And that's what I'm saying. If you get like, and I've said this before, I can understand and I can see quality. Derrick Henry, once again, was still quality. You understand where I'm coming from? He wasn't like, oh, he's old, there's nothing left, he bit, everything else. He was still putting up good numbers on a team with no weapons, no quarterback, no bad O-line, bad coaching, like, and he's still putting up 1,100, 1,200 yards. So you got to be looking at it like, imagine him next to a guy that could take eyes off him. He might put up something special. I want to remind everybody, before you guys come for me for everything that I'm saying, please go back to the videos that I was talking about Derrick Henry, where I said, I feel like Derrick Henry's going to rush over 1,500 yards. Y'all remember those vids? And I got creamed, in the, pummeled in the comment sections. Nitro, who's the Raven fan now? Got your purple colored glasses on. Ha ha ha. Can't believe you think that old running back's going to help. And then he blows up and everyone's like, and now that he's done that, the Ravens are looking at it like, man, we don't want to pay this man again. What he's worth now is ridiculous. Hilarious. And I'm hoping the Ravens get it done. I really do. Henry can run like this for another at least two more years. At least 2 more years. Even if he loses a step in this offense, he can still put up about 1,400 yards. Which is still better than any running back that we'll be able to put back there with Lamar Jackson. I'm not trying to be difficult. What I want is the ability to see how we keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Guys, we're in a window. I'm telling you, there's too many players that we got to pay. There's going to be some guys that they're going to say we can't pay. And I keep saying one of them are going to be Zay Flowers. I'm telling you, we are in a window. We have to capitalize now because the Ravens will do what the Chicago Bulls did and be like, time to rebuild, time to restructure, time to renegotiate. And then we're all going to be looking at them like, we just did a repeat. What are you guys doing? Like, I keep trying to tell you, the egos of sports teams are undefeated. Egos from front offices cost Michael Jeffrey Jordan more championships. They cost the Chicago Bulls a 4-peat. Maybe even a 5-peat. Ego. I'm just hoping that the Ravens can look passing it over their ego. That's all I'm saying. And I know I'm harping on this for the last couple of videos, but it's because I really want this to be driven home. I don't hate the Ravens. I love the Ravens. I just want them to get out of their own way. And I want them to not always think, hey, we're the smartest people in the room. Because a lot of times you're not. Sometimes you are. But a lot of times you're not. And you've been outthought. You've been played by that. And it's like, the only reason why you guys believe we have a Super Bowl team from top to bottom is because Lamar Jackson is our quarterback. I want you to understand that now. Look at the teams that have been constructed around Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow at one point had a better defense than us. The kicker was performing at the level at one point like a Tucker. And then he had weapons galore. He lost a running back. The defense suffered some. And he can't get them to the playoffs. We've watched the guy get us to the playoffs regardless of that. We had one of the worst pass defenses in first 10 weeks in NFL history in the first 10 or 11 weeks of last season. In NFL history. And I know that's why we got Malachi Starks. That's not the point. The point is, I'm all about leverage. What's more important? Lamar, we got to protect him. We're only hoping that these guys pan out. I would rather spend the draft capital and get somebody who you know is going to help out. That's all I'm saying. But I'm asking you guys, what happened to TJ Tampa? Ajabo. What happened to these other guys that you guys are so high on? It be bad funny sometimes, bro. I be looking at them like, every time. Oh, y'all were high on Prochet, remember? He just needs opportunity. Duvernay. Like a baby Debo. That's it. Yeah. Y'all making me laugh when I'm talking. That's what y'all tricked yourselves into believing. Y'all remember that? That's all I'm saying. But what do you guys think? Are you going to question where these players are also? Or do you say, we don't care, we got new guys coming in, they can go somewhere else? Let me know what you think down in the comment section, please, all right? But as always, that's the episode of The Wunderkind Show! Thank you for watching. Again, we get down, we have fun, and we laugh, but everything we talk about, we do what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, and the notification bell, leave a comment. Guys, you know I love the comments. And guys, please check out the Wunderkind Morning Show. Yes, live Monday through Thursdays, 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., where we cover all sports, hot topics, and on top of it, we have a little bit of nostalgia at the end of every show where we cover 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. So be there or be square, okay? Also, if you'd like to donate to the channel, help out with equipment and such stuff like that, bottom of the screen, QR codes to a Cash App. Cash App located in the description of every video that we do. Name of it is money sign, The Wunderkind Show. Super easy. But that's the episode of The Wunderkind Show. This is your not just signing off, and as always, you know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Huh? Yerp!
Finish him, Daddy.